One more time. Me. Lauren, Catherine, Melanie, and then Kim. Hello, anyone and everyone that's out there. We will be starting in about 5 minutes. We're so excited you're on.
Is it my turn?
Mm-mm.
Okay, sorry. For some reason, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, I was muted for a second.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll mute.
Yeah. We're going to give it another couple minutes and we'll get started. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started right at 9 o'clock here. Thank you for all of you who are hopping on and joining us tonight. My name is Kim Embry, and I'm so thankful to have three of my dear friends in Plexus and myself getting the opportunity to share just some testimonies from us. And before we get started officially with the event, I just wanted to read just kind of an official statement that this event is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide, but brought to you by Plexus Independent Ambassadors. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. You will be hearing our personal stories as independent ambassadors. So thank you again for getting on tonight. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. We are going to focus tonight on women's health, everything across the board from hormones, pregnancy, post-pregnancy, breastfeeding, and some other things, postpartum. I have personally gotten asked a lot about Plexus and pregnancy, and so I'll be sharing a little bit more with you later, and I think that some of you just have questions about just what that looks like and is it still safe and all those things. And so I wanted to turn it over to Lauren. She's going to share a little bit about how Plexus has impacted her life as a woman.
Hey guys, I'm Lauren, and first I just wanted to start out by telling you when I started Plexus. It was back in 2016, and I had my 2-year-old daughter, and I hadn't had a period since she was born, and I had actually been breastfeeding her for that long, but still was thinking that that was a long time to go without. And I'd heard a lot about Plexus, and so I decided to try it. And I do have PCOS, so just kind of a hormone thing. And right when I started Plexus, I started having a period right away, and I was still breastfeeding. And I also noticed just that it helped in other ways too, just with being able to think more clearly, and just other things kind of PCOS related, and anxiety. And so I really liked it a lot. And then I took a break about 6 months after I started, because we had a move and had a lot of expenses. And I just thought, is this really helping me? And so I took a break from Plexus for a few months, and I noticed that there was a big change in it. It was really helping me. I noticed a big change in my moods and hormones and just all of that stuff. And so I started again. And that was about a year ago. And this time I also started taking metformin because we wanted to have another baby. And I ended up getting pregnant about 3 months later with Plexus and metformin, and was really excited. And I stopped metformin about after the first trimester, and I continued Plexus throughout my pregnancy. And it was just a really healthy pregnancy. This was my second baby, and with my first pregnancy, I gained about 50 pounds. And with this last one, I only gained 25 pounds, which is the recommended, weight gain. And it was just really healthy. And just throughout the whole thing, my doctors were like, wow, you look so good. What are you doing? And you're not, swollen or anything. And so I just, told them about Plexus, and they were like, yeah, that's great. Probiotics are great. And so I just had a really healthy pregnancy, and, had the baby, and breastfeeding has been good too. So yeah, that's kind of my story with PCOS and pregnancy. So that's all I have.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Catherine Elkins, and I wanted to share a little bit about my story with how Plexus has impacted my life. So when we were living in Japan back in 2015, my mom sent me some ProBio 5 and BioCleanse to take during my pregnancy because I suffer from a severe digestive issue, and also tend to get really swollen during my pregnancies. I have a lot of water retention. And I also suffer from, this is my 4th pregnancy, so for the other 3, I had terrible restless leg syndrome. So I had heard that Plexus helped in all of these things. And so my mom sent me about a 6-month supply that I took throughout my pregnancy with Caleb, my 4th child. And immediately my digestive issues went away, and I was able to have a regular experience in pregnancy without any constipation or anything like that. And that in and of itself was such a blessing. But on top of that, the BioCleanse is a magnesium supplement, and it really helped take away the restless leg syndrome and those Charlie horse cramps that you get at night when you're like stretching out in bed. So that was another huge blessing, and something that when I look back on that pregnancy is like a huge highlight. My immune system was really strong. It was the only pregnancy that I had that I did not get sick. I felt like I always had sinus infections throughout my pregnancies prior to taking Probio 5 and BioCleanse during this pregnancy. And the other thing that I love is that I didn't have any swelling. My face never got swollen until right at the very end when I ran out of products. So when we arrived back in the States, when I was 34 weeks pregnant, I was out of the products, and all of a sudden my face and all the water retention started coming in. So that was just another indicator to me the benefits of taking magnesium supplement and the probiotic during pregnancy. And lastly, what I loved about taking a probiotic is that I knew that it was also helping my baby's gut prepare, because I was going to be having a C-section. And when you have a C-section, your baby doesn't pass through your birth canal, where it just gets a lot of the good bacteria from your body. And so by taking a probiotic, I knew that I was helping my baby's gut get the best start, since he would be born as a C-section. So after he was born, or I guess the last 6 weeks of my pregnancy, and then after he was born, I did not take any Plexus products due to financial reasons. And so about 5 months postpartum, I found myself in a very low and dark place. I don't know if any of you have ever suffered from postpartum depression, but it's a really scary place to be. I already had 3 children who really needed me, and then this 4th baby who was hungry and wouldn't sleep at night, and who only wanted me. And we were sharing a bedroom together, and it was a really hard time. And on top of that, my digestive issues were back. I was extremely bloated. I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. I had major fatigue. All I could think about was wanting to sleep. And I know that can be a side effect of postpartum depression, but just in general, with a baby that's not sleeping, plus all of that, was just a recipe for disaster. And so I reached out to my friend who had shared Plexus with me, and just told her of my predicament with financial reasons and all that I was dealing with. And she was so encouraging and was really helpful to get me started and sharing the products, but also taking them at the same time. And so when I started taking Plexus, the whole triplex combo, Slim, Probio 5, and BioCleanse, I was 5 months postpartum. And one of the first things I noticed was the energy, the natural energy that comes from regulating your blood sugar. I started feeling like I had the energy to get up, move, get dressed, go out in public, be around people. I felt like I could give more of myself. I was homeschooling my eldest child, give more of myself to her. She got my attention. I didn't feel like when the baby goes to take a nap, I need to take a nap, that kind of thing. I was able to go read with her and give her some more one-on-one time. My digestive issues went away, and it's been 16 months, and I haven't had any issues since. That bloated feeling slowly, it's amazing. My stomach was so bloated, and that slowly just started to go away. And over a 6-month period of time, I finally lost this 20 pounds of baby weight that I had my body was just holding on to. And so I got my pediatrician's approval to take the products during that time, because I was nursing, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was safe for the baby. And she looked it over, and she said that it was great. And he was my healthiest baby by far. He's only had one ear infection, only taken one antibiotic. He turned 21 months old last week, and I nursed him until he was a year old. And so I just am grateful that I was able to pass on all the good stuff that I was taking in to him, and that he had a healthier start to life than my other three did, who were constantly sick with RSV or croup or ear infections or just one thing after the other. And so I'm just really grateful for all that Plexus has done for me, my body, my baby, and just I got to be myself again, and that's a gift that I can't stop sharing with others. So that's my story.
Hey everyone, I'm Melanie. I'm going to share a little bit with you about my story now. I live in Forney, Texas, and I have 3 kids, 2 daughters, ages 5 and 4, and then a little baby boy who's 7 months old. And I started my Plexus journey a little over 2 years ago, thanks to an OBU friend of mine. And I was just looking for some energy and to lose like baby weight. But was not planning on it being a long-term thing or anything like that. So today I just wanted to share about my experience with breastfeeding and milk supply. With my first 2 babies, my daughters, I struggled a lot with milk supply, especially in the beginning. With my first, I was trying so hard to be able to breastfeed. And with her, for some reason, my milk didn't even come in until day 7. So it made that first week pretty tough. Lots of crying from both of us and just, hormones, everything. And once my milk finally came in, it got a little bit easier, but only for a short time. Because then when I went back to work, it was a lot of pumping, which is like so much work and effort and energy and emotion I feel like poured into it. And, I was not getting much out of it. Like, for example, I remember sitting on my couch in the evenings before bed, pumping for like 40 minutes at a time. And I was only getting maybe half an ounce of milk, which is just so frustrating. Makes you feel defeated and, inadequate as a mom, just really hard altogether. So because of all that, breastfeeding just became something I was so stressed about and anxious about all the time. I was just a miserable first-time mom, which is really sad because I had always dreamed of being a mom, especially a mom who could breastfeed. So fast forward to my recent pregnancy with baby number 3, little Nathan. Throughout my pregnancy with him, I was taking the triplex combo, so Slim, ProBio, and BioCleanse, and also the X Factor multivitamin and Mega X. I had taken all those products to my OB and had him look at each label, and thankfully he approved them for me to use in place of an over-the-counter prenatal supplement. So I felt comfortable taking those throughout my pregnancy and breastfeeding experience. So I've been seeing other people's testimonies on milk supply with Plexus products, and was really hopeful that this time I'd have a different breastfeeding experience. And now on the other side of that, I can say it's most definitely been so much easier than with my first 2. So a picture I feel like says it best. So I want to share this picture with you guys. Okay, let's see. So I took this picture when baby Nathan was 9 days old, and I'd only been pumping for 5 days. And remember, with my first baby, I still only had colostrum until day 7. So obviously day 9, that's way more in comparison, and obviously way more than a 9-day-old baby is taking in. And so just having that picture makes me really happy. I just, it just kind of symbolizes, okay, this is going to be okay. This is going to be better. So I stay consistent with taking my Plexus products. And now my new problem was keeping up with all the milk, running out of freezer space and fridge space, not being able to wash bottles and pump parts fast enough, and like finding a system to keep it all organized. Those were problems I never had before with the other 2 pregnancies, but I'm so thankful, they're not really problems. But it's just amazing how much blood sugar levels and balanced gut are related to not just breast milk supply, but all the other systems of our bodies too. So, and I also just want to mention really quick my pregnancy that was so much better than my first two without Plexus products. This time around, I had hardly any swelling, like no cankles, and like Catherine, my face didn't really swell. I feel like, usually you get huge nose. I didn't have that so bad. And I posted a side-by-side picture on my Facebook page a while back if you want to go see what that looks like. I didn't really even notice it until my time hop came up, and there was a picture of me pregnant with my first baby. I was 7 months along, and I had already had Nathan at that point, and was looking at a picture of me going into the hospital to give birth and was just like, wow, that's a really big difference. So, and then I also slept better, like falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer, of course, till you have to pee, but just overall better quality sleep, less achy and pains, overall discomfort. I wasn't miserable like I remember being the first two times. Less moody. You can ask my husband about that. He definitely agrees with that. Third time around was way better. And most importantly, more energy to keep up with my then 3 and 4-year-olds. So all this to say, the balanced blood sugar, the gut health, truly, truly a big deal for pregnancy and breastfeeding. And I just wish I'd had this knowledge and these products 5 years ago so that all my babies could have benefited from them. So that's all I have. Back to you, Kim.
Thank y'all so much for sharing. It's just so powerful to hear each one of your stories. And I'm going to share a little bit about more about pregnancy because I'm pregnant, not only with one baby, but 2 babies. And I wanted to backtrack a little. I will not be able to, due to time's sake, share my whole health story because I really had some major health struggles for about 4.5 years prior to trying Plexus. And so, but I guess this is a kind of a very emotional moment when right prior to me starting Plexus, a doctor had told me that I shouldn't get pregnant. Not because I couldn't, but because I wasn't healthy. I had a terrible immune system. I could not absorb nutrients. I had a ton of vitamin deficiencies. He was just really nervous, that I could carry a child. And at that time, it was, the deepest desire of my heart. So that's kind of the backstory. And so I want you to know what a big deal this is to me. So fast forward, I went ahead and tried Plexus. I did the Triplex, the Plexus Slim, ProBio, and BioCleanse for a solid year. Because of some of the issues I'd had before, I knew it was going to take time for my body to get, stronger and all of that. And so almost to the day, a year later, I was actually pregnant with Cora. And praise the Lord. But what I want to say is to think that that's how far I've come. Not only did I was able to get pregnant with her, but I had a very healthy pregnancy. And I can say that even after using Plexus for over 3 years, so many people still think it's about weight loss. Do people lose weight? Of course, because their body gets healthy. They might lose inches, but it's really not about that. And I can say that because, in pregnancy, your goal isn't to be on a diet, right? If I could show y'all my stomach right now, it's pretty big. The babies are growing. But I just wanted to reiterate that the beauty of our pink drink and our Plexus Slim is that it was created by endocrinologists to level your blood sugars. And so there's just so many benefits from that in your health. And so for me, in my pregnancies, my one with Cora and now this current one, which I'm 28 weeks pregnant with twins, and I just keep getting great reports. And I'm just so amazed because I know that they're taking a lot from me. But I just keep getting reports that my vitamin levels look good, or I'm doing a good job or whatever, which I know it's not me at all. But just wanted to reiterate that it really is about leveling the blood sugars. And what that does for a mom when they're pregnant is it helps cut down any issues with glucose or the gestational diabetes, which I'm super thankful that pass both of those due to my age being in my later 30s. There's more of a chance for that in both times currently, and then last time I passed that with flying colors. So that was a huge blessing for me, and something I would say. The other big thing is, I would say, just the fact that that I'm absorbing minerals and vitamins and the supplements that I'm on through Plexus. That's benefiting not only me, but my babies, right? And so for someone that had a past of struggling to be able to absorb anything that was good for me, it was all because of my gut health. My gut was just totally out of whack. I just had a lot of stomach issues that also broke down my immune system. So that being said, I gave it time. I've been on Plexus pre-pregnancy, during, and post, and I've just seen the benefits altogether of balancing my body, giving me the energy I need to continue to be healthy during it, to feel my best even post-pregnancy, because I can remember, as a new mom with Cora, thinking, well, I mean, of course you're going to feel tired. You're feeding every, 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, but I could go back to sleep really easily. And then there would be times during the day where I felt really alert, and I'm like, this isn't normal. But I just kept consistently taking my products. And so that is just kind of a glimpse of what I've experienced. And I wanted to focus a lot on pregnancy because I am pregnant and I get asked that a lot. And so I hope that something we have said tonight is encouraging to you as a woman, as a mom, whether you've ever been pregnant or not. I mean, just the fact that our bodies deal with a lot of hormones, it's a big deal. And I hope that one of us has been encouraging to you. If you have any questions about anything we've shared, or anything about our products, or any more detail about our story, feel free to reach out to the person that invited you to this event tonight, and we would love to share more with you. Thank you so much for getting on, guys. Have a wonderful night, and thanks for listening.